We are just a couple of days into the new year, which means NASCAR season is right around the corner. NASCAR is going to start off with the Clash again at the LA Coliseum, which is going to be very fun the first week of February. Then they're going to have the following weekend off, which is Super Bowl Sunday. Then they'll kick back the following week with the Daytona 500. It is going to get very exciting, folks. And what better way to start building the hype up than to talk about the official driver lineup for the entire grid for the 2023 season. And that's what I'm here today to do. So kick back and relax and enjoy, but let's get started.
I'm Chase Briscoe, driver number 14 Ford Mustang for Stewart-Haas Racing, and you're watching William Blackwell on YouTube.
There is no need to make this video so darn long. By saying that, I'm just going to go down the list for each number and driver, and that's it. But starting off with the one car for Trackhouse Racing, they're going to remain the same with driver Ross Chastain, which I believe is a great move, and it would not surprise me at all to see him return next year in 24 on a long-term deal. But driving the two car for Team Penske, it is going to be Austin Cindric, Tim Cindric's son. The Tim Cindric is one of the IndyCar engineers for Joseph Newgarden, and they got a tight bond with the organization. Austin Cindric is going nowhere. Driving the three car will be Austin Dillon. For his grandfather, Richard Childress, I believe the addition of Kyle Busch to the driver lineup is going to help him out as a driver. Just look at Chris Buescher. A couple of years into the RFK deal, wasn't going very well, but with the addition of Brad Keselowski, I don't know, his mindset kind of changed and he started having better results and he picked up a win at the Bristol night race. I believe the same can happen to Austin Dillon if Kyle Busch is willing to help out, which I believe will be the case. Driving the four car, Kevin Harvick for Stewart-Haas Racing. He's on his final year of contract and there are many options on the table. 1, to resign. 2, to retire and go to the Fox Sports booth. And 3, Trackhouse Racing. His son Keelan Harvick on his fire suit has Trackhouse Racing on it. They got a tight bond with them, with Justin Marks. So, I don't know. You can put 2 and 2 together, and it kind of makes sense at the end of the day. But driving the 5 car will be Kyle Larson. He is going nowhere. Rick Hendrick is sponsoring him out of his own pocket. So, if Larson keeps on winning, Rick Hendrick's going to keep him as long as he can. Driving the 6 car, Brad Keselowski. Driving the 7 car, Corey LaJoie. And this is a make-or-break year for him. If he does not do good, he can possibly lose his seat. But if he does good, there may be a high payout with a bigger and better ride for 2024. Driving the 8 car, Kyle Busch, after his long venture with Joe Gibbs Racing, this past all season came to an end, and he was looking for a ride. Colleague Racing gave him a call, Stewart-Haas Racing, and RCR gave them a call. And he thought RCR was the best option, and he signed with them, and I believe he's going to do very well at the team. They're going to have their ups and downs early on, but I believe by the summer months, they're going to be just all right. Driving the 9 car will be Chase Elliott. He is going nowhere. And the 10 car, Eric Almirola, who initially stated at the beginning of last year that he was going to retire. And halfway through the season, rumors started to build up that Almirola was going to come out of retirement and race another year or two. And during the playoff season, it was official. He's coming back, and he is the driver of the number 10 car. Driving the 11 car, it is going to be Denny Hamlin. He is going nowhere. How long FedEx stays there, which is a big discussion point because FedEx right now is kind of undecided whether or not they want to remain with the team heading forward in 2024. The signs for so far are not looking too good for Hamlin, and it could be possibly another seat Joe Gibbs Racing has to fulfill because if Hamlin at all gets tied up in some heated contract discussions, he's going to back out and go to his own team. He owns a team right now, 2311 Racing, with Bubba Wallace and Tyler Reddick. He is not going to hesitate at all. And this could very well be the last season of Denny Hamlin in the 11 car. Driving the 12 car, Ryan Blaney. Last year was a very sluggish year for him and his team. Picked up 1 win in a non-points paying event, the All-Star race, which was a total disaster. Hard to pass, a bad wreck early on, and the race was ending by a controversial caution with Ricky Stenhouse Jr. at the white flag, or the checker flag, more like. Very interesting deal there. But Ryan Blaney has to do a lot better this year, which I believe he will. But keep an eye on Blaney. Driving the 14 car this year will be Chase Briscoe. He is going nowhere. I believe he's one of the bright spots for Ford going forward. Last year, he picked up his first career win out in Phoenix early on. Had a chance to win a couple of races. Top of my head, he about won the Bristol dirt race on Easter Sunday. The Coca-Cola 600 was very quick out in St. Louis. Had a chance to win Vegas in the playoffs. Had a chance to win Martinsville and many other races. Briscoe this year, I believe, will win many more races. I believe it'll be at least 4 and beyond, but that may be, I don't know, a bit of a reach there, but that's how I think it's going to play out. But driving the 16 car will be AJ Allmendinger. In years past, he's raced for Kaulig and Xfinity, but this year he's giving it another try in the Cup Series, and I believe he's going to do well, and he will make the playoffs in my opinion, and that's for a whole nother video. Driving the 17 car will be Chris Buescher. He's going to have a great year. There's no number 18 anymore for the time being, which is kind of interesting to say. But now driving the 19 car will be Martin Truex Jr., and this could be his last season with the team. He's kind of hinted at retirement in a couple of years, the year 2020, after COVID first started up, and there you go, Truex. This could be it for him, and he wants to go out on a high note. And I believe he's going to have a great rebound season, and he could possibly go to victory lane at some point. And it would not surprise me at all to see him as a championship contender. But driving the 20 car, Christopher Bell, he's going to have a phenomenal year. All right, driving the 21 car will be Harrison Burton, who I believe is in a make-or-break situation. If he does not do good at all this year, Roger Penske is going to give him the boot. And I look at drivers such as Zane Smith to be one of the favorite candidates for that seat moving forward. But if Burton does good, he'll keep the seat. But look what they did to Matt DiBenedetto. No matter how much the fans in the sport of NASCAR loved him as a driver, Roger Penske gave zero cares about what they thought, and he gave him the boot. And I believe the same can happen to Burton if he does not do good at all this year. Driving the 22 be Joey Logano. 23, Bubba Wallace. He's going to have a great year in my opinion. Came on strong at the end of the 2022 season. Driving the 24 car will be William Byron, who's going to have a great season, I believe. He started off hot early in 2022 and kind of faded away throughout the summer months and towards the playoffs, and then kind of heated up at the end. I believe this year is going to be a much better year for him and his team. And I believe Rudy Fiegel is going to help out him a lot. I know the last year they were together, but this year it's going to start clicking much better. But driving the 31 car will be Justin Haley. He is going nowhere. Matt Kaulig and Chris Rice love him. He's a great ambassador for Lee Filter. And yes, they're going to keep on Justin Haley for much longer, I believe, more than just 2 years. They're going to sign him back for 24. But driving the 34 car will be Michael McDowell. He is going nowhere. Front Row Motorsports loves Michael McDowell, and Loves does too. They like him, and I think they're going to be there for many years to come. Driving the 38 car will be Todd Gilliland. This is a big deal for him because the 38 car has been known to change drivers every single year since the year 2019. They had David Reagan, brought in John Hunter Nemechek, Anthony Alfredo, and Gilliland in 22. And he's coming back for 2023, the first time in many years that they've had the same driver lineup. And I believe if Gilliland has a great year, he can possibly get a long-term deal with this team or possibly a bigger deal with another team in the Cup Series. But if he does bad, he may go back to Xfinity or Truck Series racing. I don't know. It's kind of a reach, but he has Zane Smith in their little field house, and he's doing hot in the Truck Series. He's the defending champ. He's going to get a couple of Cup rides this year, Daytona 500 to be exact, and many more. But Todd Gilliland has to perform, and I believe he will. All right, down the list to the 41 car, we got Ryan Preece. He's getting the promotion. Last year, he sat on the sidelines, ran a couple of races in Cup, Xfinity, and Trucks, did well. And Tony Stewart wanted him in Cup. Gene Haas didn't really want him. He wanted Cole Custer. At the end of the day, though, they got Ryan Preece. Driving the 42 car will be Noah Gragson. He's a phenomenal driver. He's going to be a force to reckon with, maybe not this year, but in years to come. Driving the 43 car, Eric Jones. He had a great year last year, got the most out of his car week in and week out. I like the direction he is heading in. All right, down to the 45 car we go. We got Tyler Reddick. Last year, it was Kurt Busch, and it was looking like that was going to be the lineup in the 45 car for years to come, but he suffered a concussion in Pocono in a qualifying session, and Kurt Busch did not race for the rest of the season, and they had Ty Gibbs fill in, and then eventually they switched it over to Gibbs in the 23 and Wallace in the 45, and Kurt Busch still remains optimistic that he's going to race again in NASCAR at some point, but not in a full-time capacity. And it's good for him to finally take a step back and put his health first and not racing first. And look at Dale Earnhardt Jr. in the last couple of years of his career. Had many concussions. I know it's hard for him to sit out as a driver and athlete, but you got to do those things. You got to look out for your health before you do anything else in racing. All right, but now to the 47 car, we got Ricky Stenhouse Jr., which is owned by JTG Daugherty Racing and co-owned by it's owned by Jody and Tag Geschecter and co-owned by NBA legend Brad Daugherty. I get that tied up a lot, but they love Ricky Stenhouse Jr. He is going nowhere anytime soon. He's going to be there for many years to come, and who knows? They were once a two-car team for a couple of years, and when they got rid of Ryan Preece, they went back to a one-car team. They could possibly go back to a two-car team sometime down the road. Stenhouse is bringing in some competitive sponsorship money, so who knows? JTG, Daugherty Racing, may be looking for a charter within a couple of years. I don't know. That's a long shot right there. But we got Alex Bowman in the 48 car, who is in a big year for him, in my opinion. If he does not do good at all, I believe he gets to boot. And who is replacement? I'm going to talk about that in a minute, but Alex Bowman in the 48 car. Driving the 51 car, it is going to remain the same as Cody Ware. He had a great year last year, had a chance to actually do good in the LA Coliseum Clash last year, nearly made the main event, was very quick, and it showed big signs of improvement from the year 2021. Throughout the year, had a couple of competitive runs and nearly had a chance to win. Yes, I'm saying that right. Win. A chance to win the Daytona 400, the final regular season race with Austin Dillon won it though. All right, down to the 54 car, which is a Joe Gibbs car. They got rid of the 18, but instead they brought the 54 out. It's going to be driven by Ty Gibbs. I believe he's going to win. Here it is here, folks. Many races in the year 2023. All right, driving the 77 car will be Ty Dillon. Last year, he was driving the 42 car. Things didn't work out. And they didn't have many options on the table. If you're wanting to go to trucks, you got many options, same for Xfinity, but he wanted to remain in Cup. And there was only one option, Spire Motorsports. And Spire Motorsports actually loved him, and they brought him on to drive full-time in the 77 car. All right, driving the 78 car will be BJ McLeod. He is going nowhere. And now is a big-time discussion point. I wanted to keep this quick, but if Alex Bowman does not do good at all in 2023, Rick Hendrick is not going to hesitate at all, and neither will Ally, to give Alex Bowman the boot. They're going to flick him off, because if Jimmy Johnson goes out this year and drives for Petty GMS Racing, which is a team he co-owns, he may want to go back full-time racing again. And it wouldn't be out of the shot or range if he will go back to Hendrick Motorsports, a team that he's not owning currently, but a team he's had a lot of history with in the past, winning 7 championships, and I believe it was 84 race victories. But Jimmy Johnson possibly going back to Hendrick Motorsports, that's kind of far-fetched, but I can see it happening. And if you're saying out there right now, don't he own a team or co-own a team? Yes, he does. Look at Denny Hamlin. He races for Joe Gibbs Racing. He owns 2311 Racing with Michael Jordan. That does not mean at all you're entitled to race to your own team. He can go anywhere he wants to. And we all know Ally loves Jimmy Johnson. So if he wants to go back full-time, Ally's going to support him, and so will Rick Hendrick, and Alex Bowman may be the odd man out. All right, down to the 99 car, we got Daniel Suarez. But there you go. There is your full NASCAR driver lineup for the 2023 season. And to add that Jimmy Johnson's part-time only, but I'm just putting him on the list because it's very exciting to see Jimmy Johnson back on the grid. But everybody though, remember to please like and subscribe and comment down below your favorite drivers in the Cup Series, Xfinity Series, and Truck Series heading into the 2023 season, because I am very curious to know. Peace.